Hello, I'm Dave and this is Logan, out once again for a walk in the countryside. Thanks for joining us. Now today we're at Studland in Dorset. It's located about 3 miles north of Swanage and about 9 miles southeast by car from Wareham. And we're going to be walking a roughly 6 mile-ish circular route, starting from Studland and initially heading west to explore the mysterious Agglestone Rock and maybe the Puxton Rock before heading north across Godlingston Heath up to Studland Heath, all the way up to South Haven Point, and we'll then head back south along the southwest coast path, returning back to Studland. Now I'm filming right at the end of April. It is a glorious, fresh spring day. The sun's out, a bit of a wind, but perfect conditions for walking. Do come along with us. Now I've actually done the introduction scene. As you can see by the sea, we're on the sort of eastern side of Studland. We're shortly going to be heading westwards for the main part of our walk, but before we do, we've got this lovely beach almost to ourselves. Dogs are allowed on the beach all year round, but between May and September they have to be on a lead. But as today is the 29th of April, time I think for some Whippet zoomies. Cue the music. Well, I think Logan enjoyed that. And now he's got that out of his system, let's get on with the rest of the video. Well, the best place to start the walk, properly as it were, is the pub, which is in front of me here, the Banks Arms. It dates to 1549, and originally it was called the New Inn, and then it changed its name to the Wellington Arms in 1844. It became the Banks Arms in the late 19th century after the Banks family who owned the estate. Now I'm not going to spend too much time exploring Studland itself because we visited here a couple of years ago when we filmed a lovely walk from Studland out to Old Harry Rock. So if you haven't seen that video, do check it out. And there is a church of St Nicholas, looking quite beautiful in the morning sunshine. Of course, I went through all of its history the last time we were at Studland. So the first section of the walk is going to take us westwards through the village to our first destination, the mysterious Agglestone Rock. Well, the village is full of some quite magnificent cottages and houses. Look at that one up there, the old schoolhouse. Studland stores and post office. Now we need to cross the road and go down Heath Green Road. And looks like that's the village hall over there in front of me. And there's the old police house. So this is right at the western edge of the village, and we need to go down Agglestone Road. Well, a little update on the route. We've now left the village and now we're onto a huge area of heathland. We should start to get some super views very shortly, and I need to keep my eyes peeled for the Agglestone Rock. Oh wow. How about this for a view, folks? So there's the Agglestone Rock in the distance. I just got to work out how we get there, because I don't think we can just go down the valley on the other side. That looks a bit boggy, so we might have to find a path that goes round. And we've got these terrific views of the sea and the mainland over there, and the sea looking so blue today. Well, another little update on the route. So we've been following this ridge around on the sort of southern side. Beautiful views looking over to the north, and so there's the rock sticking up there. So we've just got to continue along the side of this ridge on the left. Now, if during the course of this video it looks as though I'm walking a little bit stiffly, well, that's because yesterday Fiver, that's my younger dog, and I took part in a trail race at the UK Trail Running Festival at Wimborne St Giles. We only did the 5k race, which is what, just over 3 miles, but it was pretty muddy and undulating. We didn't do too badly. We came a respectable 44th out of 101. And I think I was first in my age category. Well, this, folks, is the Agglestone Rock, between 400 and 500 tons of sandstone rock. And it got into its current lopsided position in 1970 when it slipped sideways due to sand erosion underneath. And it's quite mysterious, as it's, well, totally out of keeping with the boggy heathland that surrounds it. It possibly might have been deposited by a glacier during the last ice age, but it's certainly not been put there by man. It's also known as the Devil's Anvil. Indeed, legend has it that the devil threw the rock from the Needles on the Isle of Wight with the intention of hitting, well, either Corfe Castle, Bindon Abbey, or even Salisbury Cathedral. Whatever it was, his aim wasn't that good. The name Aggle might just derive from the Dorset dialect wobble, although some suggest it might also be Anglo-Saxon hag, meaning witch, or helig, meaning holy, or even stan, meaning stone. Well, what a quite extraordinary rock. It is quite blowy up here. Hopefully you can hear me on the audio, but there are some fantastic views for sure. Well, the views up here really are quite fabulous. So this is looking to the north, and we're going to follow a footpath across the heathland. And look, you can see the Brownsea Island, and just over to the northwest there, where that gorse is on top of a mound, I think that's where Puckstone Rock is, similar to Agglestone, but much smaller. So the next section of our walk takes us northwards across some heathland known as Godlingston Heath, which was made a National Nature Reserve in 1980. Well, just looking back to the south, up towards Agglestone Rock where we've been, and this quite alluring little heathland valley over on the right. Well, we're now on to our second major heath, Studland Heath, which became a national nature reserve in 1962. The two heaths together, that's Studland and Godlingston, both cover something like 1,600 acres, and they're both SSSIs. I'll continue to make my way across Studland Heath, and just on the sort of eastern side of the footpath is this quite enchanting freshwater lake. It's called Little Sea, and it's something like a mile long. I was reading that the western shore was once the coastline, but in 1721 it was a tidal inlet through a dune, but before 1800 it became a lagoon, although it was still being invaded by seawater during spring tides some 50 years later. I've just crossed Ferry Road, so I'm on the sort of western side of it, and look what I've found here. Bramble Bay, and you know what? We've got it to ourselves. I mean, look at the sand, it really is quite golden. So this is looking over, say, to the north, and we'll soon be catching sight of the ferry. And then over on the other side of the bay there's Brownsea Island, and then there's just this panning round. Oh, it's like being on my own little desert island here. Right, time for a little dog dip to cool down. Oh, he says, oh yes, that's perfect. Well, is it a little bit chilly still? It's only April. Well, this is still Bramble Bush Bay. The seagulls there all on parade. Good spot for checking for fish, I reckon. And then this is just looking back at this quite idyllic little cove that we've been walking around, which I have absolutely fallen in love with. And this is as far north as we go. This is well, South Haven Point. In front of me here is the Sandbanks chain ferry. The ferry road, which we've been sort of walking in parallel with to get here, was established in 1926 when the chain ferry was set up. Previous crossings from South Haven Point to Sandbanks were by rowing boat, and the present ferry today is called the Bramble Bush Ferry, and it's operated since 1994, and it's the fourth ferry since the service started. It's got capacity for 48 cars and sails every 20 minutes. Now, it actually operates on two hardened steel chains that are 1,235 feet long, and they're anchored either side of the harbour. Now, wear and tear on the chain causes it to stretch, and two links have to be removed every fortnight in order to maintain the optimum length. The chains are actually replaced every 15 to 18 months. And then the old chains are sold off and used as weights for lobster pots and boat moorings. And I was reading that they only actually use one chain at a time. That's always the side farthest from the flowing tide. Well, you never know who you're going to meet on the walk. Come across a chap who's a regular viewer, whose name is Paul. And there you go, Paul. And with his little Dave's Countryside Walks badge. And where have you come from, Paul?
I'm originally from up north, up Rochdale.
Oh, right. Are you on holiday down there? No, you just live down here. Yeah. Oh, it's lovely to meet you.
Yeah, and you give me some lovely routes.
Super, lovely. And at this point, we now join the southwest coast path and follow the shoreline along the eastern shore. Well, it may well be windy, but it's a fantastic beach here at Shell Bay. Its sand is quite golden, and you know, certainly with the tide out, there's so much of it. It's glorious. What a lovely place to go for a ride. I imagine cantering along here must be absolute heaven.
Lovely. We've been here twice now.
Yeah.
He has.
Yes.
I've been coming here for 34 years.
Oh my goodness, what a lovely horse. Looks shiny in the sunshine.
Yeah, you love it here, don't you? Come from 2 hours away.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Drove up today.
Yes.
Yeah, it's lovely.
What's she or he?
She.
It's a she. I just couldn't see from here. What's her name?
Willow.
Willow.
Yeah.
Oh, that was the name of my first cat. Well, have a nice ride.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
Yeah. Haha, and there in the very far distance, our first sighting of Old Harry Rocks. And of course, we've been there a couple of years ago, or at least, I reckon. Well, we've made it back to Studland. We had a fantastic walk along the beach, all the way up from Shell Bay. A bracing wind, but quite a warm one. It's been perfect on a day like today. I wasn't able to do much commentary though, because the wind would have been too much for the audio. Right, now there's one more place that we need to visit before we end the video. Well, just up on the bank there, some remnants of the Second World War, some old anti-tank blocks that would have been put on the beach in case there was a threat of invasion. And here we are, our final destination, the Banks Arms, which of course we have to visit purely for research purposes for the video. Well folks, here we are back at the beer garden of the Banks Arms, just testing out their ale. Oh, just what the doctor ordered. And of course, our usual, Chris, I'm afraid it's Bert's, likely sea salted today, sir. Oops. Yeah, I think will do. Well, we hope you enjoyed our walk today. We've had a super time. The weather has been spot on, and some of the scenery, well, it was quite outstanding. If you did like the walk, please do give us a thumbs up and a like, and do leave a comment, and do check out our Facebook page, Dave's Countryside Walks, where I always put a copy of the map. So until we meet again, thanks for watching, and cheerio. Oh, lovely. Sorry, am I ignoring you down there?